Welcome. Hi, my name is Susan King, and this is Gifted World History. Please forgive me for not doing this with a more personal touch. When I looked at our schedule for open house, I realized that there was no way I could cover everything in such a short time, so I decided to try and come up with something else. I promise not to take up a lot of your time, but there is some important information here that could be helpful to both students and teachers. First, I want to make sure you know how to get in touch with me. My website, my email address is king.susan@mail.fcboe.org. So if you'll go ahead and email me with any questions, comments, or concerns, I will try and get back with you in the same day. But sometimes it does take me a while, so just kind of bear with me on that. Before I go any farther, I just want to let you know how incredibly excited I am. This is going to be such a good year. We've got so many new things coming in with the technology, and we can finally harness the students' knowledge on the stuff. So with the BYOT, I really can't wait. I've been teaching world history for about 12 years now, and I am absolutely fascinated by the content of the class. But more than that, I find that these kids are so much fun to teach. I really enjoy my job working with your kids. We do a lot of collaborative projects, a lot of fun stuff outside of class, so by the end of the year, they're usually really good friends, and I just enjoy them so much. This makes my life so much more fun. Okay, with that, there are a few important things that I wanted to make sure that you knew. One is Gifted World History is a feeder class for AP US History. AP US History is a junior class, and they have to enroll to get in AP US History. But I have a little bit of a secret motivation here because I also teach AP European History, which is a senior elective course. So what I'm hoping is that they'll come over to me, have a good time, get a good foundation in Gifted World History, apply for and hopefully be accepted into AP US History, and then after that, hopefully they'll come back and see me for that AP Euro elective class when they're seniors. So that's sort of what I'm kind of going for here. I wanted to go ahead and introduce you to our book. This is Patterns of World History by McDougall-Littell. It's a really big book. What we do is we give them a copy of the book and then we tell them to take it home. We shouldn't see it again until we request for it to come back. This sucker's just too heavy. I have to also let you know that my biggest challenge in Gifted World History is letting kids know that they really do have to read the book, and sometimes they have to learn things out of the book. So again, this is a very, very important thing. Let me go ahead and say a little bit on study guides. All right, these are really important as well. They're basically guided readings that I've written out of the textbook. At the beginning of each unit, I'm going to give them a study guide. Let me go ahead and warn you that these are kind of long, but they do go in order of the book, and it's really just a guided reading. If your child turns in a fully completed study guide, no partial credit here, but a fully completed study guide on the day of the test, they get a 5-point curve on the test. That's about the only extra credit that I ever give, so it's pretty important to take advantage of it. Also, I will collect these study guides, give them the points on the test, and then at the end of the semester when they're trying to study for the final exam, I'll give them back their old study guides, which really does help tremendously when they're trying to study for the final. Again, these are relatively laborious to do, and it's going to take them some time, but it does help them get through the book. It gives them some extra points, and it's going to help them a lot when it becomes final exam time. I also wanted to go ahead and mention that I do quite a bit of simulations, activities, mock trials, things like that. For the most part, I try and rotate the speaking positions around, so if you have a child who's really, really shy and has a legit problem getting in front of the class, go ahead and shoot me an email, let me know about that. I don't want to scare a kid with an activity. Now, scaring a kid with a test, well, yeah, that happens all the time. My tests actually don't really look like this at all because almost all of my tests are taken online. I subscribe to an online test, I write the test, I upload the test, but they are going through and they actually take the test online because it gives them back the results immediately. So if you know your child has a history test that day, go ahead and ask them about it when they get home. They can't tell you what they got on the essays and the short answers because I have to go through and grade those myself. But they can go ahead and tell you what they got on the multiple choice part of it. So that's always helpful. Speaking of how are you going to know when your child has an upcoming history assignment? Well, this is my website this year. This is Edmodo. For those of you who haven't used Edmodo before, it's basically a Facebook knockoff with a few extra features thrown in for us teachers. I post everything on our class groups on Edmodo. It's really nice because if your child has more than one teacher using Edmodo and you've got a parent account, you can just sort of click around, click through, click on the name of whichever student you want to check up on. You also have the option of signing in with your child's access information. All of my students are going to get their own Edmodo account. So you can ask them, they can give you the username and the password, and you can check up on them that way. Or again, you can go through and do a parent account. It's going to ask you for a parent code. Shoot me an email and I'll shoot you whatever parent code Edmodo tells me. So again, that's incredibly nice. You're going to need to go in and sort of click around on this website some, but I think you'll find it very, very helpful as a communication tool. I wanted to go ahead and mention that I do post a lot of test review materials on Edmodo, so if your kids' grades are maybe not what you want them to be on the tests, I would definitely sit them in front of a computer and stick them on Edmodo, because I do a lot of online review activities that way too, so that can always help. Okay, those are the big things that I wanted to cover. Let's see. Oh yes, I know what I need from you, and that is patience. I usually stay about 2 weeks behind on grading because I have 2 small children of my own and they take up a lot of my time too. So I stay a little behind on grading, although I do the best I can. Not to mention I have to borrow your printer. We are on a really, really tight copy budget at Starr's Mill, and I give a lot of handouts. So what I've had to resort to is posting things online and getting the kids to print them off for school. This is not my favorite solution. I make sure to encourage my students to use economy settings and take off the colors and take off any illustrations they don't want on there. But it is what I kind of have to resort to with this copy budget that we're on. All right, that's about all I can think of for right now. With all that, I should just mention again how incredibly excited I am about this school year. This is going to be so much fun. We are putting a lot of faith in our students with BYOT. I think it's going to be great. I think they're going to step up to it, and I really can't wait. Thanks guys for sticking with me for this video. I'm going to try and get better at doing these. I appreciate your patience. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.